This uncle said to me, he said, "You'll never be able to fly. What do you want to go to the Air Force for?" I said, "I beg yours." I said, "I want to go." So it was a great pleasure having got my wings to front him. I was born in 1925. Mum passed away when I was 14. My wife's father, who was an MM, First World War, lovely chap, he was more a father to me really than my father. Because I didn't have, being away for 5 years at boarding school, I didn't have much in common at home. And then when I did get home, I didn't have mum. I used to spend most of my time at Marjorie's place, sleeping on the couch. This was 1941, I was still at school, and I kept following the war, hoping to God it would still keep going. And I left at the end of 41. I had 12 months to go before I could join up. I always wanted to go for the Air Force. And in that 12 months, my future brother-in-law and I joined the Air Training Corps, mainly to become proficient at Morse code. Everybody wanted to be a fighter pilot. Well, I was 18, so I wanted to be a fighter pilot. On our pass-out wings parade, because we had to go before a board then, and they would categorise whether you went on a single-seater aircraft or bombers. And when I went up there, I said, "No, I don't want to go on the bombers." And they said, "Why?" I said, "Well, I'm 18 years of age, and I'll be a sergeant pilot now getting my wings. I don't want to be in charge of an aircraft with 8 other people on board." I said, "I want to be responsible for myself. I'm a sergeant, I might have a flight lieutenant, navigator or a warrant officer that have been in 4 or 5 years flying with me, and I'm just new at it." So I said, "That's not on." So I finished up passing out with a commission and getting sent to an operational training unit at Mildura. So it was either Spitfires or Kitty Hawks. Having looked at both, I thought the Kitty Hawk had a bigger cockpit. You felt more at ease, where a Spitty was all right around you. How the devil killer core were fitted into a Spitfire, I do not know. I don't know to this day. We had about 8 weeks at operational training unit. First 4 was in Wirraways with an ATU instructor, flying with you, teaching you tactics, dive bombing, low-level strafing, formation flying, air-to-air attacks. Of course, at that age, like youngsters now at 19, they've got no fear. That's why they used to like getting the young blokes into the squadrons. In fact, I felt sorry for one guy, Arthur Boko, who was a flight lieutenant, been instructing at ATS. He was from South Australia, a wife and 2 children. He was old, 28 years of age he was. And when he went to the squadron, he was good, you know, he was a perfect pilot. And you didn't have to be a perfect pilot. You wanted to be able to just move around in the air. And I felt sorry at stages for him, because he must have thought in the back of his mind, you know, when you're diving in to drop your bomb and you get flak bursting. Well, that didn't worry us. It goes back to the guys you lost. Quite a few of them not through enemy action, through aircraft accidents in mid-air. A turnabout with 12 aircraft in the squadron. And they trained you to so that if any attack, turnabout, right, go. And you had to do a smart turnabout and finish up heading the other way in the same formation. Well, we had four blokes lost their lives in that. They'd crashed in mid-air. And one, he damn near lost his life there, because one of the aircraft on one of the accidents, one of the props chewed half his wing off and exposed all the ammunition hanging down. Some went off, went through his canopy, and he flew the aircraft back 360 miles and landed it. That was real luck. But how he did it, God only knows. Late January 44, I arrived at Nadzab, which was a place up the Ramu Valley from Ley. Well, we did operations from there all up the north coast of New Britain to almost Rabaul. That was in the South Pacific area, we were Southwest Pacific. Before I came south, in about August I think it was, they gave me a week's R&R. One of my tent mates got killed, dive bombing with Strip and Baybo. And then I got hit, so I thought, geez, this is a hairy sort of place. But we did all watercraft sweeps around there, barges, sunk barges, dive bombed and strafed camp areas. I don't so much feel proud of it, but I was happy doing it, very happy. I'd got married on the 6th of August 1945, and the bomb was dropped on the 15th, 9 days later. Marjorie, my good lady, was up at Mildura with me, and I'd put in for the Fleet Air Arm. Because quite a few of the chaps had thought, this is a bit mundane here, let's go. And they were calling for pilots. Marjorie wouldn't have a bird of it. She said, well, if you want to go for the Fleet Air Arm, forget about the engagement. Well, that was August. I was discharged in October. We used to fly the old Kitty Hawks, the older ones, down to Werribee. And outside Werribee there was a big paddock there, and we dumped them down there. That was the last I ever flew them. My best memory, I think, could be when they dropped the bomb and it's all over. Although I still had the feeling that I'd like to have gone on. It's contagious flying. And the worst, I think probably my worst was at Hollandia, I think it was. The US aircraft went in and it burnt. And we went in to try and salvage. The fire was out by then with the stench of human flesh burnt. It was shocking. I can imagine these blokes who are on search and rescue, No good. If they want to do something, just keep at it, and they'll get there. I was just fortunate. I was lucky in getting through so quickly.